Hey, my name is Chaya and I'd like to welcome you to the Naked series, the series in which you get to hear the aftermath of the naked aftermath, the straight up raw version of what happens to a child who had anxiety, abuse, alcoholism, and ADHD present in their life throughout their childhood. What happens to them after that? How does their adulthood look? And as a guest, I'm talking about me. And I would like to jump right in. I'm putting on a 5-minute timer so I can go deep in. Here's the serenity prayer just to get started. God, grant me the serenity to accept the people I cannot change, the courage to change the one I can, and the wisdom to know that one is me. I'm looking at a picture of my thumbnail, a picture of the age that I'd like to start with, around 17, 18 years old, which is around when we go from being a child to being an adult. In the picture, I actually look remarkably happy, kind of cute. I almost want to be friends with her. But what we don't see there is what's really going on underneath. The makeup is being put on to shield and block anyone from seeing the real emotions. The smile is there to make sure you think, I'm happy. In reality, at that point, my world was crashing. My dad had a dream since day one, that since before I was born, so really I shouldn't be the reason why his dream doesn't happen, that he was going to go to Israel. They were going to move to Israel, whether it was with me or without me. Throughout my childhood, obviously, we fought about that constantly. A 6-year-old, a 7-year-old, a 10-year-old fighting with an adult about the security and the safety of knowing that where they live is where they're going to live. Wow, this is harder than I thought. So in that picture, that's when the reality of all my fears, when all my fears were being actualized. Or the biggest of my fears, one of the most present fears, and my parents decided to move. And that picture was taken right around that time when I knew they were moving and I wanted nothing to do with being home and watching it happen. As soon as I knew they were moving, there was a part of me that knew they didn't need me to come with. They were going to move regardless. In fact, they preferred to leave without me. I don't care what they say. I know, and I knew that it was just better I didn't go. I heard about them moving when I went shopping with my mom. I was in a dressing room and something like this. I was completely naked, but only actually I was, half naked. I was in the middle of trying on different clothing, and that's when I heard that they were moving to Israel, halfway across the country. I live in New York, so a 12-hour flight in 10 weeks. I was around 17 at that point, and I still get shudders down my spine when I think about how it felt. I looked at myself in the mirror. I was dressed really cute, and I had just put on this really cute dress as no one was saying it, and I finished putting it on, and I just looked at myself, and it was just like I didn't see me anymore. I saw a crashing world. I saw a reality I didn't want to be in. And I saw that I had no choice yet again, like the rest of my life. So many thoughts went through my head. But the biggest one, the one that has affected me the most since, is the fear of abandonment. Because in that moment, I felt abandoned. I realized that no one really cared how I felt. And I know it's not fully true, but in that moment, it was true. It was the only truth. And I grappled with that, and I have grappled and still do with the fear of abandonment since. Because in that moment, my biggest fear of abandonment was actualized, was realized. And I realized it was possible for that to happen. And I never wanted it to happen again. 10 more seconds for the share. I think that I'm complete with that share for now. I decided to do it in this kind of manner so that you get 5 minutes of the uncut realness, the naked me. And then I can take the rest of the time just to come back and show you the strength that I've learned and how I deal with this. So, when I look at that part of my life, there's a lot of pain and sadness, but most of all fear, because I recognize what happens next, and I'm afraid for that girl, even though I know it happened in the past and I know she survives because I'm her, and like I see the end of the story, but I'm afraid for her, because the truth is, going back and sharing this brings up a lot of feelings, brings up a lot of that reality. And what I want to give her more than anything is the ability to have this story told through her strength, through the eyes of love. I want to show how much I love her, not how much I want to beat her, because I don't want to beat her. Even though she was beaten all her life, even though the voices of the people who beat her, who beat me, it still exists in my head. And there are times where I beat myself in my head and I tell myself, oh, I'm just not good enough, or like, why the hell are you doing this? And that's not why I make this. I want to make this so that I can show her strength. And I can show the strength of how this poor girl went through, my God, hell and back. And she fought with everything she's got. I want to show you, oh my God, I want to show you some of her diary entries at times where it doesn't even make sense that she fought so hard. She had no proof. I look at her and I don't know if I could do it. If I had to go back now with the knowledge I have today, I don't know if I could do it. And I look at her and wow, my God, because she's me. And the only reason I'm here is because back then I fought like hell. So right now I want to take a moment to congratulate the me that went through that was so abandoned and went through so much hell after that, which we're going to share. But and just, I want to apologize for making you think you deserved this, because you didn't. And them leaving, that was on them. Them leaving the way they did, that was on them. That was their bad, not yours. You never deserved that. You deserved loving parents who would never do that, or would hold you through the process properly and really care. And I'm sorry you didn't have that. And I want to make sure also to clarify, this isn't me beating on my parents either. This is me telling my story and the way I feel through it. They had their reasons, and I don't want to go into it. This is about my story and my space right now. And yeah, this series will be very triggering. I know for me for sure. But it may be for you too, because I will be opening up and sharing some of the most deepest, painful memories and moments of my life. And I'd like to invite you to see this as an opportunity to redefine your story too. To write it the way you like it, so that it becomes the story of strength rather than the story of pain. So, one more time, if you know it, say it with me. God, grant me the serenity to accept the people I cannot change, the courage to change the one I can, and the wisdom to know that one is me. Whew. All right, like and subscribe. I'll see you here soon.